Let me tell you something, folks. This is, the third Friday of the month. Month is almost gone. Over half of the month is gone. And this Friday checkup is important because you still have time to step up your game, to make necessary changes to achieve your goals for the month. When we look at, each Friday, when we see that idea of holding ourselves accountable for the results that we're getting, it really drives home the message that you have to keep written records of your progress. You have to have your daily action plan, the things you set out to do. And most of all, you have to have monthly goals. We talked about it before, that when we set a full year goal, and that's a nice section from the 12 Universal Laws of Success in Chapter 7, you set a full year goal. So example, just to make it simple, our full year goal is to save $5,000. I want to make a move. I want to have $5,000 at the end of the year that will help facilitate that move. Good morning, Lynette. Wow, thanks for joining us. Corey, thank you. Good morning. So when you look at that full year goal, $5,000 is about saving $425 a month. Say $450, make it simple. If you save $450 a month, at the end of the year, you'll have $5,000. You have over $5,000. So then your full year goal breaks into 12 monthly goals. And then you take your 12 monthly goals and you go to the first month of the first year. You go to the first month of the year and you then look at the goals for that month and you break the goals down into weekly goals. So $450, if you had 4 weeks, breaks down into about $112.50 a week. And you can literally break that down into daily goals. If you say 5 days a week, that's about a little over $20 a day. So you're able to literally take a full year projection and break it down to a daily activity. And what that does is that it really sets us up in a way that all you have to do is accomplish each daily activity, and then the week is automatically taken care of. You accomplish each weekly activity, and the month is automatically taken care of. And the same with the month. You achieve each of your monthly goals. At the end of the year, you have $5,000. So what's the challenge? The challenge is very often, number one, we don't have clear enough goals for the year. Then the goals we have, we don't break them down into monthly goals. And then the monthly goals, we don't break down into weekly goals. And the weekly goals, we don't break down into daily goals. So today is a good time to look at your progress to date, to look at this month. We're heading toward the mid part of the year. And I recommend that you, number one, revisit your full year goals. Now, if you didn't write your goals down for this year, chances are you'll forget them. So that's why this whole thing works together. You have to have written goals so that you can recalculate, so that you can review and evaluate. So revisit your goals for this year. And then look at where you are in your goals. Are you way along the way, or are you, way off the mark? But that idea now of doing that, I call it the reality check. There's a nice section in our new book, The Life Lessons for Your Success, and it's called How to Refocus Your Life. And there's certain things that you say, what do I need to do to get back on track? So number one, to realize that whatever you focus on grows. So if you focus on results, results grow. But if you focus on obstacles, if you look at all the ways things won't work, that grows too. So whatever you focus on grows. And focus has two aspects. One is time and one is energy. And so if you don't have focus, that means you don't put the time into the energy of accomplishing a particular outcome. I'll say that again. If you don't have focus, that means you're not putting the time into a particular energy that will create the desired outcome. So when we look at where we are right now, at the midpoint a little past the midpoint of this month, and in the year, we're nearly halfway through the year, there's a lot of time now to stop procrastinating and monitor your progress, look at where you are, and come up with a new plan and a new action, not just a plan, but a new set of actions that will take you where you want to go. Now, you may look at where you are right now and think, oh my God, where did these 5.5 months go? Where was my thinking? I got myself sidetracked. Things can happen. You can have a health challenge. You can have a situation challenge. Life comes at you. But this idea of making this assessment, I call it this reality check right now, sets us up to do the right thing to rectify it. You can't fix it if you don't acknowledge it. Many times when we look at where we are right now, we're disappointed in ourselves. It's this very disappointment that stimulates us to make the change. We often talk about the dog sitting on a nail when a stranger passes a house and there's a dog sitting on a nail whimpering. And the old man sitting there in the rocking chair, and the stranger says, why is the dog whimpering? The old man says, he's sitting on a nail. The stranger says, well, why doesn't he get off the nail? And the old man says, it doesn't hurt badly enough. So that's a key point. That when you assess where you are right now, and if you're not happy with it, then maybe it doesn't hurt badly enough. But you can make that decision now. You don't have to fall in the hole to understand the power of, climbing out. You can say, hey, I know I can climb out of the hole, but why must I fall in the hole? Just to prove that. Let me go around the hole and use my energy to climb higher rather than to climb out of a rut or climb out of a hole. So let's look at where we are right now. What's some steps you can take right now to refocus your life and get on track so that by the end of this year, whatever the goals you set for yourself, you can realize them. The year is going to go by regardless. If you don't take charge and live your life by design, somebody else will design the life you're living. I'm going to say that again. If you don't live your life by design, somebody else will design the life you're living. So do that reality check. Look at where you are right now. Look at the results that you're getting. Are you happy with them? No, I'm not happy with them. Well, change them. And look at some things that you can do to change. The moment you do that reality check, and I'd make a list in the reality check of the stuff. Thank you, Sade. When other people design your life, they design it in a way that benefits them and not you. That's a key point. Thank you so much, Sade. So when you do this reality check now, be honest with yourself so that step 2, you can take responsibility for it. So if you're like the prodigal son, you're in the pig pen of life, everything you've done is not working. You're not happy. Everybody's talking about you. Your family's looking at you like, what are you doing? Well, you take responsibility for it. Say, whatever it is, I created it. Maybe I created it by procrastination. I didn't make the moves when the moves should have been made. Maybe I created it by distraction. I let myself get pulled off course. I saw some shiny object, some shiny person, and I let myself get pulled off. Maybe you didn't create it because you were just plain lazy. Okay, your condition didn't hurt badly enough, so you said, do it another day. But the moment you take responsibility for it, say, whatever it is, I did it. Now you can be proactive to change it. If you don't acknowledge that you created it, then you don't really have the power to change it. If you think that somebody else created your condition, then you can't change it. But if you say, hey, I created it, maybe I may have created it by my reaction to other people's stimuli. But in any event, you take responsibility for it. And then you say to yourself, look here, I got to change this thing. I got to examine my actions. I got to be clear about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I may be doing stuff just because I've been doing stuff. I've gotten off the path. I've lost the plan. And so I'm just going through the motions. But whatever it is, you be clear about what you're doing, why you do it, and write this stuff down. Because when you see it, you go like, man, what am I doing? Why am I involved with this program? I just had to cut a business program loose because it was sucking up my time with no results. I had given it a certain amount of time to be successful. And when I say given it, I had given myself a certain amount of time to put my energy and my focus into it to create success. It did not happen. And so don't let your ego keep you driving down a dark road going nowhere. Acknowledge, hey, this was a bad choice. I can do better. And look at that, what I will do, what I will not do. And as you say, thank you, you chart your path to success. Then once you've done that fourth key is to learn to say yes and learn when to say no. You see, the moment you see your path now, then it's a matter of looking everything around you and pulling away the weeds and fertilizing and nurturing the flowers. The stuff that's not working, don't keep doing it. If you're in a hole, stop digging. The stuff that is working, do more of it. When you're having success, don't take a rest. Don't rest for rewarding too soon. If it's working for you, work harder. Push harder. You create a momentum that can't be stopped. Always focus on that big picture. Why? When you look at that we say, I want to save $5,000 this year. Well, why? What's the reason? You just don't want to look at your bank account and see $5,000. Well, that $5,000 may be the down payment on a home. That $5,000 may be part of purchasing a business. That $5,000 should be seed money for the rest of your dream. So always revisit your dream to make sure that what you're doing is congruent with your dream, the big picture. And now, as we're halfway through the month, now as we're halfway through the year, now let's look at some new priorities based on focusing on what we want, based on evaluating our current situation, based on developing a plan of action. Say, this is what I must do in order to accomplish my goals by the end of the year. This is what I must do now. And once you do that, you're now putting yourself in a situation where you can take action. See, this is the key. All of the planning, all the analysis, all the monitoring, all the stuff that you do, if it does not convert into action, you're wasting your time. The moment you start taking action, and you don't have to see the whole picture. Many times we say, well, I have to see the whole road. No. If you just take action, you have a goal, you have a vision, and you take an action, a step towards that goal and towards that vision, I guarantee you, just the fact that you have taken the step means that you create a vibration. You create an energy that helps make it clearer to you where you're going and what you have to do. And once you get into that step by step by step, and you make a commitment to keep stepping, that every day and every way to get better and better, that every day and every way to write your plans the night before. Maybe you missed one. Okay, get back up on it the next day. write your plans the night before. You'll schedule the activities that must be done. When you reevaluate, and I like that what you said, Eric, to adjust your expectations. Sometimes you may be underestimating your own ability. What we expect, we get. So maybe you've been permitting yourself to drive in second gear when you're capable of fourth gear. So adjust your expectations, and I like to always adjust them up. Because if it was important before, now that I'm challenging the results I'm getting, that means let me work a little harder. Let me go into the gym. Let me practice shooting more. Let me be that any time I come up to get a foul shot, I'm going to hit it. In other words, you do whatever it takes now to execute your new priorities in the most effective way. And when you keep going and growing and recognize that it's an evolutionary process, what happens when you create that daily momentum, those daily activities, you create momentum. Momentum is like speed. When you have a car, the most difficult time to get the car started. But once it's started, it doesn't take as much gas to keep it rolling. So once you get that momentum, then the momentum begins to carry you from where you are to where you want to be. Once you get the momentum, you send out a vibration now that attracts people, circumstances, situations. It attracts whatever you need into your space to help you accomplish your goals. So now, at the midpoint of the month and the midpoint of the year, it's on. Flow. Beautiful. Thank you, Quentin. When you get into the flow of success, where everything is clicking on all cylinders, where you keep working, well, that's the time to work harder. Don't stop for rest and reward too soon. Be flat out. Get it done. So that's been our message for today. We're at the midpoint of the year, the midpoint of the month, and if we're not happy with the results we're getting, get off that nail, refocus, and take action. So let me review the steps. Take that reality check. Look at where you are right now and the results that you're getting. Take responsibility for the results that you've gotten. If you broke it, fix it. Whatever it is, you created it. Step 3. Learn what to say, when to say yes, and when to say no. Wow. Now I'm sorry. Step 3. Be clear. Let's revisit that. Step 3. Be clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Just evaluate your actions. It's like, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. And then now you can say yes to no. Yes to what you want to do. No to any things that you don't want to do. So that you can then reprioritize your life, reprioritize your actions, and get going. Focused on your why. Focused on a new plan. Taking action and constantly going and growing. This is Dr. Herbert Harris. This is Friday Checkup. The Knicks didn't stop. You got that right. 53 years. And they kept on plugging. So this is your day to assess where you are, to do what is necessary to get where you want to go. This is your choice to live a life by your design or accept a life designed by someone else. This is your day to make a commitment to yourself that this time is me in the winner's circle. This time it's me who gets the prize. This time I've really, really made it. This time my dream is realized. That's the Champion's Creed. That's the affirmation of success. This has been Dr. Herbert Harris saying you can do it. Be sure to visit our website, herbertharris.com. schedule a success consultation, and